If you have an offer that people don't care about, that isn't converting, and you basically have to beg for clients, I'm going to show you how to create an irresistible offer. I'll go over 7 simple points so that you leave this video having a clear idea on your niche, how to deliver, and how to fulfill for your clients. These are probably all things you're actually confused about right now. And I know that when I was starting my own coaching business, I wasn't really confused about the ads or the funnel just yet. I was really confused on what to actually sell and how to sell it, how to actually price it as well, and how to portray that in a phrase. So I'm going to go over the 7 points right here so that you're not confused anymore. You can create something that's actually sexy for people, that gets them excited about wanting to work with you. You can charge a lot of money for it. So let's get started here. So the first one is the actual offer itself. So what should you be selling? Ideally, you want to sell something that you've actually achieved within your life. So basically, this could be something that was some kind of a hardship that you went through. It could be a particular skill that you acquired, or just some kind of knowledge that you have. And a good way to think about this would be thinking back to either big events throughout your life or things that people tend to ask you about. So people tend to ask you a lot about your guitar, how you play the guitar, and how you got so good. This could potentially be an offer. If people ask you about fitness and how you're in shape, that could be an obvious one. So really just thinking about your day-to-day life. What do people ask you about? What do you think you're pretty good at? And it could also be attached to some kind of a story as well, because people are really drawn in with stories. So if you can have some kind of a transformation attached to this skill set, that'd be a very good factor for you as well. The next part here is having something that's simple. You don't want to have an offer that's too confusing, because a confused buyer will not buy. And a lot of coaches out there are confused themselves, and you can even imagine what your prospect feels like. So if you have a lot of different bells and whistles and a lot of different aspects to your offer, ideally you want to narrow it down to a main 3 or 4 pillar. So obviously there's probably a lot of different things that you help your clients achieve within your program, but you need to be able to categorize them into something that's very digestible so people can really understand your way of thinking. Why does someone need to go through this process, and the overall success path as well. So really, really important. My first offer, I was basically just selling help with credit and funding. And so we were helping people first fix their credit, qualify for funding. It was very, very simple 2-step process. Then within there's also a lot more steps involved, obviously. So fixing your credit, you might have to remove old addresses, you might have to remove inquiries, you might have to remove negative accounts, you might have to add stronger accounts to build a foundation. For the funding, you have to prepare your LLC, you have to start one if you don't have one. You need to get the email, the website, you need to prepare all the different assets. For the applications, you need to know where to apply, how to apply, connecting with the bankers. So obviously, there's a lot of different steps involved, but on a very simple level, we're gonna help you fix and optimize your credit, and then go and apply for funding. So that's how you want to basically structure your offer, make it very, very simple and easy to digest, basically. So our 3 pillars were fix credit, prepare entity, and then apply for funding. And so once you kind of start to understand exactly what you're going to be selling and how you can simplify the model, now you need to figure out exactly who do you want to sell to. So the great thing here is that you get to pick your family. So really think at the type of client that not only would get the most value from you, but that you would like to also serve as well. Most of the time, the easiest person would be your past self. So again, if you're going through some kind of transformation, you could look back to yourself that was going through that challenge and thinking about what that person was going through, what were they waking up stressed about, what were they hoping to achieve, and then basically creating that avatar, because that's going to be very easy for you to understand the pain points, the challenges, what they're thinking about, where they're hoping to get into, and that'll make your marketing a lot easier as well. But you need to really figure out exactly who you're marketing to, and this needs to be very, very clear, because whenever you go into your funnels, into your ads, into your different landing pages, your program itself, ideally you want to have one clear avatar so that it's just copy and paste when it comes to your program. And when it comes to your content, you can genuinely speak to that person. Because imagine someone waking up stressed about something. They go on IG, they look at your story, and you're literally talking exactly about that. That's like a deep connection right there at the form, and that's what you're looking for. So ideally, you want to have a clear idea of the person you'll be targeting, and also I usually recommend charging high ticket if you're a coach, and ideally this person should have money. So that's why it's not usually the best to target beginners in business because they're not making any money yet. It could be something in which you're looking for helping someone transition into business. So maybe they're a high level doctor or a CEO somewhere else and you're helping them transition into business. That could work. But a lot of people sell beginners, but beginners don't have any money. So you ideally want to find an avatar that would be someone that's a little bit more established that would be able to afford your high ticket program. And a good example here is a dating coach, for example. If you're helping young males get women, well, young males are maybe in college, they can barely afford food, and they're just starting their careers. So that's probably not the perfect avatar, although they'll really resonate with you and what you're talking about. A better fit might be a guy in his 30s. He'll be further along in his career, have some more money to spend, and getting a partner will probably be a lot more important for him as well. So that's how you want to think about this who factor. The next one is the what. So once you have a clear idea on the person, then you can really start to formulate exactly what is the pain and the dream outcome. Because the pain, this will be the things that you can throw rocks at. So basically, what are they trying to step away from? So for us, for example, we throw rocks at people sending cold DMs, cold emails, spending all this time prospecting, and it feels like a huge drain, a waste of time. People aren't getting that much results. It feels like they're never building any traction. They're just stressed out. There's no progress in their business. Those are all things I can throw rocks at, basically. Then the dream outcome, these are the things that your prospects and your clients really, really want. And if you have a clear picture on the who, you can start to understand the dream outcome. So if you're a fitness coach, maybe it's six-pack abs, or maybe it's just even feeling better and having higher energy. And really being able to ideally have very concrete outcomes as well. The more specific you can get, I think is better as well, because people can really feel it, basically. So six-pack abs, that's like a very concrete. It could be losing 20 pounds, right? It could be making $30,000 a month. It could be finding that life partner, right? So a very concrete, specific example. If you're a mindset coach, just getting more confidence, like what does that really mean, right? What does the confidence lead to? That's a better outcome. So you want to think about something very specific that people can really point to and see whether or not that's what they're looking for. So it's really important to have that dream outcome part nailed down. And ideally, again, the more specific and the more tangible it is, the better. And then the next one here is going to be the how. So I kind of mentioned this, but basically you want this to be something that's easy to understand, and you ideally want to have main pillars. So usually 3 or 4 main pillars works really, really well because it's a clear transition from one to one, and it helps them understand basically your overall model, how you think, and it could also mention certain things that your prospect would need, but they haven't really thought about before, which would also increase your authority because you're also thinking about other things that they'll probably need as well. So basically, you want to really nail down your how. You want this to be something that's ideally scalable as well, which we'll talk about in a second, but it needs to be something that is going to really help them understand how this A to Z process works. Ideally, you want your process to be proven as well. It really should be. So if it's something that you've done before, that's easy. But if you haven't really worked with people outside before, it might be best to have some kind of a beta program for maybe a lower price point or just more time with you. And this will allow you to have some kind of case studies, but you do want to have a process that's proven, that's basically A to Z. You understand exactly where you're plugging people into and how to progress. That's where a lot of people get very confused with their offer and the delivery because there's just no clear path, right? They're working for just about anyone, for one. So there's people coming in from different factors and different start points. So that already is hard to basically know where to plug them in. And then the journey isn't clear as well. So they don't know exactly what to do to get them to that end point. So what I usually recommend is having literally a step-by-step process. Some of your clients might be a little bit more ahead than others, but there's basically an overall trajectory that you're trying to accomplish. So that's going to help them really understand your process when it comes to new clients. It'll also help you feel a lot more confident in your offer and just makes everything else easier. And then you want to have a scalable offer. So something that's not going to basically create a lot of time drain for you every single week. So whenever we have new coaching clients, if they're very much towards the beginning of their business, or if you're just starting a business, I really recommend just working with clients one-on-one, because you'll be able to really understand what they're going through, what's working really well for them that you could really hone in on, what's maybe lacking in your program, and get that very fast feedback and really just help them get fast wins that you can then use for your case studies and your marketing. So that's why I recommend having a one-on-one offer. A lot of people look down on the time for money factor, which isn't ideal, but if you really structure this correctly, it's not going to take up too much of your time anyways. And you can charge more money because you're selling your time in that proximity to you. So that's why I think selling one-on-one coaching offer is a great starting point. And then once you have some case studies, once you have some traction, you can either transition to or add a community tier. So that's what we do. We have a one-on-one tier and a community tier, but it's basically the same offer. So for the community, you're going to have a recorded program. You're going to have a weekly coaching call. You're going to have a community that people can network and work together. And then also one-on-one support whenever needed. So the community clients will have access to all that. Then the one-on-one clients, they basically have access to all that as well. They just get extra calls one-on-one with you and direct messaging access, basically. So again, it's the same offer, the same delivery. There's no complex different levels or not having to sell them on something completely different. You're still working with the same type of client, but some clients may want more proximity to you and they want that premium experience that you can then deliver on. And then the final one is guarantees. So Alex Ramosi really talks about this. Other coaches talk about it as well. And they can be good if you're looking to basically close the deal, if you're working with someone or on a sales call with someone that's really, really a great fit. And the only thing they're really looking for is a guarantee. You could potentially do it. A form of a guarantee could be basically keep working with them for free until they get the dream results. But honestly, I don't really recommend guarantees. I think it creates a big stress inside of your business, and it creates a different relationship with your clients as well. And it's hard to guarantee something if basically the client is the one supposed to be doing the work. You're their guide, right? Of course, we get results. That's why we're scaling, but it's still on the client. And I think that really creates a special relationship with the client as well, in which they're coming to you from a point of authority. They want to work with you. And it's not something where they're just coming in expecting a result, right? They're here with the journey. They're sold on understanding that you're the person that's going to get them the result, but they don't need any kind of financial backing in case they don't feel motivated to work for the next couple of months and they blame it on you, basically. So I think guarantees put a lot of stress on your business. If someone isn't motivated, someone doesn't follow the steps, I don't think you should be financially responsible. So I really don't recommend guarantees. And we still sell clients, honestly, at the same pace. I haven't seen any decline in our sales closing rate. And the clients that do come on, they are actually wanting to work with us. So that's why I love not having guarantees, actually. But basically, that's the entire process right there. If you're stuck, kind of confused on your offer, I was there too. It's no worries. It's an entire process right here. But hopefully through this training video, you can understand a little bit more about the framework on how to actually approach your offer and what to think about. And what I'd really recommend is if you want some help with actually formulating your offer, finding out what you should sell, how to price it, how should you create that client journey for the delivery. And also if you're someone that already is making some money, but you want additional help really scaling your offer and honing it down so you can really speak to the perfect fit clients, then I'd recommend getting some help. And we have a free program that could give you some tips on navigating this process and getting you on the right track. you can find that link down below. But if you want even more support, able to work with me directly and really get to the juicy money making part a lot faster, I'd recommend actually clicking on the link down below and booking a call. We'll have a low pressure call. It's really just trying to understand a little bit more about your business, giving you some tips, and if it makes sense, inviting you to join our program. But overall, I hope this training video gave you a lot of help and some clarity on your offer. I would really recommend just going through everything step by step and trying to see exactly what you could do to improve your own offer. But otherwise, if you do have any questions, just drop them down below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you want to further optimize your business and make some more money. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.